The February combined board meeting is now called to order. We have a revised agenda. Ms. Radine, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you mind opening our meeting in prayer?
I'd be more than happy to. All right, you bow your head, please. Father in heaven, we come to you today with bowed heads and humbled hearts, praying for your wisdom and guidance on our deliberations today. We pray for your blessings and forgiveness of our sins. We ask that you will watch over us and bless us in thy Son's most holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. I thought I'd give Mr. Porterfield a break. All right, do I have a motion to approve the revised agenda?
Madam President?
Sure.
I'd like to move that on the agenda that we vote on item number 9 separately.
Which one?
The expulsion report.
Okay, you mean 8?
Is it a, oh, you know what, I'm looking at my old one.
Okay,
So
but you want to vote separately on the expulsion, is that what you're asking? Okay, so that will be 8C. Why don't we just move that to 9E? Will that work for y'all? Write it down so don't get busy and forget. Sorry, I haven't found a pen. Okay. That works great. All right, do I have a motion?
Madam President, I move that we adopt the agenda as changed.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries with 7 votes. We do have a quorum. We've approved the agenda. I don't see Ms. K.T. Brown. Okay, so we are not going to have any citizen comments at this meeting today. So we're going to move very quickly to the superintendent's report.
Okay, thank you. This morning I gave an update to the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm actually going to repeat what I said to them to you all, if you don't mind. I shared with them about the application period for several of our programs, including our Magnet, Impact, and Pre-K programs. They're all receiving applications currently. Regarding Impact, all of the traditional high schools brought students over to visit Impact at its current site, and many of those students showed an interest in being able to participate in Impact next year. So we're really hoping that that number grows and that these children truly get engaged with those opportunities. I also mentioned to them the new partnership with Alabama Power that's allowing the students that are in the electrical program at Impact to extend their learning and be able to gain jobs through either Alabama Power or some other organization that is looking for those kind of skills. Regarding our pre-K program, I mentioned that we currently have 29 pre-Ks, but they're not all in MPS in the district. Of course, we know about the Head Starts and all of that. There are about 12 of them that are MPS through either Title I or the Office of School Readiness. I indicated that we last year gave an effort and used the grant money to upgrade, to make those pre-Ks that are ours first class pre-Ks, and I'm glad we were able to do that. This year we want to apply for grants to expand. We want to add some pre-Ks in the district. So that's one thing that we're looking at in that arena. I did share with them about the LAMP program progress, that it would open in 2017 in August of 2017 instead of January of 2017. And I made the indication that staff and parents together made that decision so as to avoid a mid-year move. I mentioned our 2 community school programs, and as you recall on the last agenda, Camille Finley was going to do a report on that, but she's out of town for today's meeting and couldn't do it. But the program, the after-school program components are underway at both Nixon and Davis. They identified those 80 students. They actually looked for students that were struggling somewhat academically and behaviorally, and they are giving them a wonderful afternoon, 2 hours. The first hour, of course, they help them with the academic content, homework, and that kind of thing. And then the last hour, they give them enrichment classes. And when I was at Davis last week, it was wonderful seeing them participate in an engineering class, in a poetry class, and even a Zumba. And I got in there with them a little bit on that. The community school summit, there will be a summit April 1 regarding community schools, and we're looking at this as an opportunity for expansion. We are grateful for the 2 that we have, and we're grateful that they're in a feeder pattern, but we are so looking forward to expanding this across the district. I mentioned that we have a lot of students that are experiencing success in MPS. BTW Magnet students in the art area won big in a statewide competition recently. Brutex students are participating in the regional Cyber Patriot contest, and I'm really excited for them. A Brubaker Middle School student won the county spelling bee and is now getting ready to go to the state level, and that's from Brubaker Middle, so we're really excited for them. I mentioned the sports events that are going on. JD Girls won last night, and Lee is playing tonight, and Carver won, so we're going to have some sports teams that will be moving on. I mentioned the Leadership Academy that is now underway. You know, that's supported by the Chamber and administered by AUM. I give the official charge to that group next Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to doing that and to meeting those people that are part of this second Leadership Academy. I gave an update on the community groups that were sponsoring the backpack food program for our students. We're up to about 400 students receiving weekend backpacks of food to take home with them. And when I ended the chamber conversation, there was a company there that came up and gave their card and said they want to do it. So that was a great thing. And well, as you well know, January marked my 2-year anniversary as superintendent. And this month, I graduated with the second cohort of the National Superintendent's Academy. So I'm excited about that. The jewel in the program was the fact that I got to spend 2 years with 25 superintendents from across the country, and we developed some great relationships. So now I have 25 colleagues across the country as resources. We communicate on a daily basis. Somebody asks a question and everybody just kind of sends in an answer, so I'm really excited about that. I want to end my report with the video that I used up in Phoenix 2 weeks ago during my cohort.
Greetings, colleagues. As superintendent of Montgomery Public Schools, I'm so thankful to be a part of the enduring history of a 135-year-old school system. In a variety of configurations, the system has served as the lifeline for some very brave citizens in a phenomenal city. The beauty of living and leading in Montgomery, Alabama, is that we have a national and international model to engage, educate, and inspire all stakeholders. They can see in this model that we reference as the City of Dreams, that one city can touch the nation One city can change the world. One city rich in conflict can produce beautiful dreamers and achievers who not only change history, but also make history. Using our rich past and our present achievements as a source of inspiration, Montgomery Public Schools is definitely on the move with innovation and community engagement as the capstone of our efforts. With tremendous community support, we're designing schools that provide extraordinary learning opportunities for students to excel in either the workforce or in college. Community engagement has also been a part of creating virtual, innovative learning environments. Montgomery Virtual Schools was a pilot program that was introduced in this school year, 2015-16. It gave students more educational options to learn and adapt lessons outside of the traditional classroom setting. Classified as a dream come true for some students, this community-supported effort will also expand in the 2016-17 school year.
The virtual school has helped me on my studies by you can pace yourself and you take your own notes and you take it upon yourself to contact your teachers with any other questions. It helps you better interact with online classes. It's like better preparing you for college. As it goes to say how you have your online courses, you'll be prepared for that already because you're doing virtual now. And it's like a better help and I like it. I mean, you take it into your own time and you have time to do anything and you also have extra time to be a kid at the same time.
Impact. Montgomery Preparatory Academy for Career Technologies is making the news for its technical programs and strong partnerships with local businesses, colleges, and universities, with industries. Recently, the High School Career Center was named a 2015 Innovation Zone by the Alabama State Department of Education. This was during its first year in operation. Impact will move to a new home built by many community hands in the 2016-17 school year.
Well, if we're going to get anything accomplished with creating a 21st century workforce, we've got to do things differently.
The partnership has been great with AIDT, working with MPS.
We are going to have students that graduate from high school that are ready to join the workforce.
We need these students to be able to be trained in our field, and that's kind of our goal, is to be able to show the teachers exactly what we need so they can train the students to be able to come right into the workforce and hopefully while they're doing that continue on through school.
Well, I mean, reality is I wish I'd had a program such as this when I was in high school or even middle school. You know, the things that they're learning today from different financial institutions or from the different people that are taking the time to invest in these young lives, you know, will really spark something in each of these young men and women that will make them think about certain opportunities that they'll have.
As you reflect on the collaborative outcomes that I've shared in this project, you will see that Montgomery Public Schools is on the move. Our innovation doesn't stop with workforce development programs and virtual schools. We have innovative and creative leaders from pre-K to high school who are working with teachers and stakeholders to develop and nurture the talents of our students. No school district is without challenges. However, as we work alongside of the community, we remind them and ourselves each day that we're educating products of our homes and communities. When we speak promise about our youth, we breathe life into them, for they are the ones who will one day touch the nation, change the world, and make history, all because they received a great education in Montgomery Public Schools.
Thank you. Thank you for getting those lights for us. Okay, receiveth information online and centralized registration, Mr. Dotson. There you are, I didn't see you.
Madam Chairman, members of the board, Superintendent, for some time now, Superintendent has asked that we begin to look at online and centralized registration. You know, that's an issue we have of getting the correct documents. We go year in and year out, ensuring that we have the correct documents, as well as tracking students, making sure that they're in that particular attendance zone. And it can become very laborious at the schools and trying to get the right information, and parents sometimes bring it and sometimes they don't. You have incomplete folders. It's just a myriad of things that can go wrong in doing that. And so in order to ensure that we're very accurate in what we have, many districts have transitioned to online registration, which would allow parents to go ahead and register their child in their particular school. Once they go online, they know exactly what school they're going to. Go ahead and do all the proper paperwork at that point, upload it so that when they actually get to the school, all their paperwork is actually waiting on them. We're looking at some of that. The staff over here who presented to you have done quite a bit of due diligence as far as looking at information, looking at data, making site visits to districts such as Mobile, Birmingham, that would actually have implemented this. I think Pike Road is implemented, Baldwin County. So several have already implemented this, and let me quantify this by saying this is something we're looking at. We know there are going to be quite a few challenges that you work with something new such as this, as to having access and those kinds of things that we've got to work through, and we're aware of that. But at this point, we just like to present to you what we're actually looking at, what we've identified, and see, get a direction of where we're going so we get from you all. With that, Ms. Ann Medina and Ms. Rianne, if you'll come forward with the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Dotson. Good afternoon. We've got a short presentation for you, so afterwards, just feel free to ask any questions. Parents will be able to register all of their students, elementary, middle, or high school, from multiple devices, cell phones, computers, anywhere that they have internet access. If they do not have internet access or need assistance, we are planning to have one centralized location that they can come to. We'll have a kiosk set up, they'll have computers. If they need assistance, we will be able to assist them right there, one place. If you have 3 children, you go one place and register all 3 of your children. When a parent logs in, they will see a screen very similar to this. This is all can be customized to the needs of the district. One of the great features is the address is an autofill. You begin typing and only a list of available streets in Montgomery become available, so we don't have multiple spellings or multiple entries of the same street. Also, based on the information that's put in, your selection of schools are only those schools that are zoned for that address, elementary, middle, and high. It's also available in multiple languages, so they can choose that as well. Okay, we'll collect the guardian information. The address will be an autofill. You can enter that. Also, their contact information. Who can pick up a child who has access, who can talk to the child. One other thing is this is not just a one-time registration. If a parent needs to update their information throughout the year, they will no longer have to go to the school. They can simply log in and it will automatically update, making the information that we have and information now far more accurate and up to date than probably what we currently have. Okay, additional information that we currently collect through the registration process. Residency status, whether the child receives special services, gifted, all of that, all of those papers that we currently print will no longer have to be printed. It can all be collected here. Same thing with the state health form, home language survey. One of the advantages of this as well is dependent upon the answer. It will be sent, a notification sent to the appropriate personnel or the appropriate department. If the child has, if it's a residency issue, it can be notified the appropriate as soon as they register here. Parents can upload their documents from their phone, from a scanner. It's very simple to do. Those documents will be received by the staff there at the Centralized Registration Office. Somebody will have to look at them and verify them before it's actually imported into INOW. This is less time consuming for parents. When student comes home from the first day of school, you've got the same stack of papers that you're filling out the same information over and over again. This is an autofill. Anything that is not specific for that student, address, guardian, all copies over. So no more of the multiple. Code of student conduct. Any of our district policies that parents are required or to sign to acknowledge, those can all be here. And they can click on it, download it, but they have to initial that they've read it and acknowledged it. And it ensures that all of the policies are initialed and read before they can extend beyond this screen. They'll be able to review any additional information that's still required. Anything in red is required. They can click on that and access it from there instead of having to start the whole entire process over. And hopefully by the time they verify all of this information and everything is done, their student will be registered. So one thing to focus on is the money and the time that it will save, no printing of all of these documents that we do. Thank you.
I have a couple. You said that if they move within a school year, that they could just go into the system and change that. Now, will there be some type of red flag set to that base school?
Yes, ma'am, there is a report that comes in that says this was the address, this is the new address. It has to be verified by the central registration staff, which would be the documentation, the new residency documentation that they have in fact moved to that address.
Okay, now how long would that be? Would that be a time frame for that? Like if they come in on Monday, would it be next Monday before the school receives that information, or will they receive it at the same time you all will?
I would think we receive it. I mean, I can't answer that question specifically because we haven't got that far into the program. There's several different programs, but I would venture to say I wouldn't think it would be much. It's not going to stop the child from enrolling or delay the enrollment of the child.
I was just wondering, because you know, when you have to read reports of students and you don't know that they have moved, they don't come into schools anymore to get the paperwork. I just think that should be something you want to look into.
I got a couple of questions on the, you know, when you have a disciplinary problem or, you know, whatever, they're always looking for that signature on that code of conduct. Okay, so what I heard you say is that they have to initial it in order to go to the next page.
That's correct.
Okay, now let's say they fill out everything and they get to that and it's, you know, it's red, they can't go to the next page and they just stop and they get out of it. Okay, is there something to alert the system or the principal that this code of conduct has not been signed?
That's not a complete registration.
And that would come up.
That's correct. We would have a list that we can, it's very customizable, and we can require certain things be filled out or must be completed before your registration is considered complete and imported into information now. And the way this one is set up is it's our Code of Student Conduct, and there's several other required documents that we require. And so if they do not initial those and acknowledge those, then we can make it stop there and their registration is not considered complete.
So honestly, like let's say it gets to February and for something, you're telling me that there's no way that somebody could look back and go, gee, you didn't sign this. We're going to know way before.
Well, when I say registration is not complete, that information will not be put into Information Now. It will not go from this system to our Information Now system until it is a complete registration, because if you can't register, we can't enroll you. So.
Is that good? Okay. Any other questions? I just would like to comment that, wow, I wish we would have had this 15 years ago. I filled out those forms a lot of times.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go ahead with item 8, A and B, the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Madam President, I move that we adopt item 8, A and B.
All right. Do I have a second? All those in favor, please raise your hand. We're doing the consent agenda with excluding the expulsion report. Okay. All those in favor, that was 7. Motion carries with 7 votes. So now we're going to move to 9A, the personnel report.
I recommend approval of the personnel report, certified and classified.
What about the revised?
And, I'm sorry.
We're just gonna do the revised, just what Mrs. Farley said, that, the set that was at your seat when you came in is what we're voting on.
Okay, all right. So I recommend approval of the revised, certified and classified support personnel reports.
Madam President, I move the acceptance of the superintendent's recommendation on the personnel report, both certified and support.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries.
I'm abstaining.
Oh, okay, so 6 yeas and 1 abstention. All right, 9B, maintenance positions reclassification.
Yes, I recommend the approval of the maintenance positions reclassification. To just jog your memory a little bit, Mr. Dotson did a report for us, reorganizing somewhat the maintenance department and its positions.
Madam President, with knowing that this is long overdue,
Yes.
I gladly move that we adopt the superintendent's recommendation.
I'm glad to second.
All right, any discussion? Thank you, Mr. Dotson, for your leadership in this. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries with 7 votes. 9C, superintendent's contract. You have a copy that was in your packet. Do I have a motion?
Madam President, I move that we adopt the superintendent's contract.
Second.
Any discussion? I would just like to thank you for agreeing to stay with us longer. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed? All right, motion carries 6-1. 9D, charter school authorizer.
Madam President, I move that we begin the process to become a charter school authorizer.
Madam President, I second the motion.
All right, discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Well, it's heartburns for me. I mean, I understand the position, and I've had talks with the superintendent, but, and certainly when we start looking at becoming authorizers of the charter school, number one, it takes funds from our regular public schools, it takes man hours from our regular public schools, then in the end, if something tends to occur that's out of line, we then still become responsible without much power to say. Certainly, when we look at charter schools and parochial schools and looking at early American education, this is not new to the educational environment. Matter of fact, charter and parochial schools were in place even before common schools. But in their origin, they were found to be both discriminatory as well as segregated. And discrimination and segregation in any form is unacceptable to Robert Fortfield. I'm certainly not going to support diverting a fund, a penny, or a man-hour to support some new kid on the block. My understanding, we've been in existence for 135 years. And to be strong-armed, and be caught up in a catch-22, because the state legislators said if we don't, they will. Well, we're not afraid of competition. Parochial schools are still in place, and we're still doing well. And it's my understanding we've been in existence for 135 years. So let them come, but we'll still put our monies into our children who attend public schools, not set aside, but those children and those funds to support those children who are in public education.
Anybody else have a discussion or comment? All those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Motion carries with 4 votes. We are now charter school authorizers. All right, 9E, expulsion report.
I recommend approval of the expulsion report.
Do I have a motion?
Madam President, I move that we accept the expulsion report as recommended by the superintendent.
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Okay. Motion carries with 6 votes. Sorry, at least I couldn't see that far. If you'll please slide your pink sheets to the left, I would appreciate it. All right, we have an executive session involving real property. Ms. Perkins?
Yes, I certify that we will be in executive session to discuss real property. We will be in executive session for about 20 minutes?
If that long.
About 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. And we will have it in Peterson's standard.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion for going into executive session?
Madam President, I move that we go into executive session to discuss real property.
Second motion.
All right, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Those opposed, it carries 6-1.
You going upstairs or?
We're going to stay here, so ladies and gentlemen, if you